Work. Oh, it's working. Good. Well, I was looking at that tape backstage, and I thought, who is that person? Every time you see yourself on camera, it's another shock. The first thing I want to do is thank Marge Dusay, who was supposed to be here today, who is a very, very good friend of mine. She's an actress from Kansas who was on Capitol for about 5 years, that soap. And she couldn't be here, and she said, oh, Gloria, you go out there and do it. So I came all the way from Los Angeles to Kansas, and from the minute I got here, I've been a little bit in shock because it doesn't look anything the way I thought it was going to look. It's an incredible place. The city is wonderful. I was lucky enough to go to see some jazz last night and hang out. And so that's why I have giant bags under my eyes today. And I'm an actress, I'm vain, and I don't want you to talk about that. When you ask me about the questions, why don't you look as good in person, you know? They said to me that I should talk a little bit about how I started. And later, when you ask me questions, you can get a little less, well, you can ask me a few deep personal ones I may or may not answer. But then privately afterwards, in the reception, I'll be more intense with you. I'm a New Yorker, so if I speak fast, that's it. You know, I've never lost it. I live in Los Angeles. I've lived there for 12 years. But I'm a New Yorker, so, you know, I still have that brash, tough, kind of, rough way. And I started as an actress after I graduated from college, after I was married, after I had a child. And that's a little different than probably the way some of you will be doing it. I was very unconventional. I always have been, and I always will be. And when you see what I'm wearing, you'll probably say, I see. Coming from when I started as an actress in New York, as I said, I was married, and I had to take classes at night. And I immediately did what all New York actresses do. I started getting into plays that pay no money. And that was something that I had to do at night also, because I worked during the day. And it was my time, my initiation time. And I had taken acting classes in high school. I was an oratory champ. I won all those trophies for speaking. And then when I went to college, I was a political science major because I thought I was going to be a lawyer. Because I was afraid to tell anybody I wanted to be an actress, because that was like a flaky thing to say, So when your parents are paying for college, you say, oh, no, I'm going to be a lawyer, and, and that's what you do. And you don't, you keep it like a little secret. And it was like even a secret from myself, because I thought, well, can I really do this? I mean, this is a hard thing to do. I mean, I read movie magazines when I was like a little kid. I had pictures all over my wall. I carved Elvis Presley's serial number in my bureau. I mean, I was always a fan. And, it just was, and it was an exciting thing, but it was something that I would do sort of, on the sly, on the sneak, do a play and then say, no, I'm a political science major. And so when I graduated and I became a social worker and then a buyer for Bloomingdale's, I really believed that acting was finished. And once I was working at Bloomingdale's, and this man said to me one day, you're very good, but you don't want to play the game. And I said, I don't understand. I work 18 hours a day here. I think I'm playing the game. And he said, no, you don't want to play the game of retail. You should find something that you really want to play the game in. So it seemed like an interesting piece of advice. I quit my job, and not that day, but shortly after, and I decided to take an acting class at HB Studios in New York, which is Herbert Berghoff Studios. The first class, the first night, I did an improv, and all these younger students came up to me and they said, you're really good. Where have you been studying? And I thought, I'm home. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And it was such a calming feeling to me, because I thought, whew, thank you, because I had been obviously searching from path to path to path, which is how you can really tell you're an actor, when you can't stick at anything. That's how you know, oh, I must have an actor's personality. So that's how I started it, and I did those plays at night for no money.